Hi, everybody. This is the weekly Helm Dev meeting. It's February 9th, 2023, and we're all, I can tell by everyone's faces, very excited to be here. Uh, probably actually are most of us. Let's see. So Karen just posted, Karen just posted the link in Slack. I think that was right before it started recording, so I'm just gonna, maybe we should post it again just for people that are joining now, for future, looking back on it too. And in any case, it's we're going over the Helm Dev meeting notes. You may have heard me say recording, so everybody, just be again, we kind of always say that, or try to, that like, hey, we're being recorded, so if you don't want someone to hear something in a recording, don't say it. Okay, so we have a couple of discussion items starting to pop in. But let's see. First of all, there's an announcement that Karen wanted to make, I think, or at least the name's on it.
Yeah. So I actually didn't realize this came in until last Friday. So I got us in right before the deadline, but I requested a Helm project booth at KubeCon. So for those of you who don't know about this, usually KubeCon runs a section in the sponsor hall that is pretty much like CNCF projects only, and it's under, there's like a banner, it says Project Pavilion. So basically they're like sponsor booths, but they're only given to CNCF projects. So I think usually it is a first come, first serve system, but given we're a graduated project, I think our chances should be pretty high. So I put in the request. There's no indication yet that we have anything just yet, but I will update us as that gets confirmed if it does. And what that will look like is I signed us up for a partial day booth. So basically we don't have to be there all day. It'll either be like the morning or the afternoon. But yeah, it will be a shared booth because someone else will have it the other half of the day. And if anyone is going to KubeCon and is available to help out at the booth, love to have you. Like I said, I'll update you all when we actually have it confirmed, and then I'll get the schedule going and everything like that. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Cool. Wow, I wonder if project room, I wonder if that's going to be our opportunity to start getting into the Helm 4 roadmap. Anyway, I know that we haven't wanted to do that for our talks, but maybe that could be good for the project room.
This is a project booth, not the room. I didn't request a room, but if you want, I can follow up on that. And just for some context, so that was the booth, right? That's kind of like the booth in the sponsor hall. I
misheard, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah, but there was an option to do, I think, to ask for a 4-hour meeting room to do something. We can do that still. I can follow up and ask because it's, I don't know, it's not that, I'm not like that late behind. But if we do have that interest, we should kind of make that known soon. What I've done in the past is kind of requested until we figure out what we wanted to do and then cancel. Yeah, so if I don't know, if you all feel like Helm for discussions might actually come up during this conference and people have the bandwidth, I'm happy to request it. The only thing is I don't know if everyone knows, but they squished all of the pre-day events to Tuesday. So all of the pre-day events that used to be across 2 days are now on 1 day. So I just feel yeah, people are gonna be running around to different things. So I don't know if everyone will be spread thin or if we actually do have the capacity to, host doesn't have to be 4 hours, just we get a room for 4 hours. Yeah. That's the only thing is that yeah, I'm assuming people will be busy now that it's even more slammed.
Gotcha. Well, I guess something to think about. We don't have to decide on this meeting, but I guess we'll have to maybe chat between all the maintainers and the people that would want to discuss that or something else, and see. All right, I'll try to socialize that a little bit and let you know what I think. Okay, cool. And Philip, you wanted to make a release announcement?
Yeah, so actually Matt Farina, I think, cut the release yesterday, but I think he's not here today. So yeah, I just took the spot because actually it has only one commit in it, fixing a vulnerability that I reported. So I think it's fair. Yeah, so there's Helm 3.11.1 released yesterday, and it fixes medium vulnerability. The score is only 4.3, so it has something to do with like leaking data unexpectedly if you do Helm template. Yeah.
Would you mind giving a quick, is it easy to give a quick example, like scenario, just so folks know, like, does this impact me? How does someone know if it impacts them? I mean, obviously everyone please update, but yeah.
So I have a working proof of concept, but it's not, I'm not prepared to show it.
Oh, that's okay.
Maybe I can demo it next week if you're interested.
Sure. And even at a high level, what would be a scenario under which conditions could data be leaked?
So the thing is, if you like calling Helm template, then it can contact some external crafted server, leak some data that you pass in to the templating, or also for the install case, this would work. It could then even fetch data from your cluster and send this to some remote system. Which, but so, yeah, never install untrusted Helm charts anyhow into your cluster, right? So probably it's more the templating case that is dangerous, where you wouldn't expect that, like if you call Helm template, this should be a safe operation, right? So there.
That's a good point. Yeah. So inspect the chart, make sure it's not a malicious chart, but it's only under that circumstance that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. That probably gives people a good idea. All right. Hello, Joe. You're the first contestant under the discussion section.
You know, we've talked about it before, but I was wondering if there's still any way to get, I think you started to look at it, but then things got busy. Any chance that there's a way to get that?
Yes. Okay. So actually, I just looked at that today and I didn't find the answer yet. I have no idea why this is the case, but I myself cannot trigger CI runs, and I'm supposed to be an admin there. So just have to do a little bit more digging. But I don't know if anyone else is affected by this besides, is it just you, Joe, and just me, or is it everyone? I don't know if anyone's trying to trigger an, you may not have, but tried to manually trigger a CI run. I know one thing that there's a goal, a longer standing goal, to move all of that CI to GitHub Actions so that things like this and others are solved, but we're not there yet. I know recently Andy wanted to pick back up on that initiative to work on that, but I don't know how far along he is on that either. So yeah, and I can think of one PR that's blocked. The one from Zach from 2 weeks ago that was discussed, that I said I would look into, and I did, and had the same issue, that we're just blocked on the actual deploy because there was an error. So
okay,
it looks like what's happening. I mean, if I haven't looked, I also have some friends at Circle. I'm sure a bunch of us do, but I could ask someone. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask someone to look into it, please, because what it's looking like to me is that the run looks like it's running on the account of the person who opened the PR, and not on the account of the Helm project. So what we're told is you have to have write permissions in order to rerun that's the error, to rerun the job. And if it were really using GitHub write permissions properly, we do have write permissions on the pull request branch for, if you're a maintainer of Helm, you have write permissions on the pull request branch of someone's fork when they make a pull request against Helm. So it's either not looking at that properly or something else. But Joe, if you know anything else about that, please let me know and maybe we could tag team. But barring that, I'm gonna reach out.
I'm also not a maintainer, just an issue. I'm just an issue triage.
Yeah.
So I don't have write permissions to anything.
Gotcha. So I think that then in that case, that would actually be a blocker altogether until we move the CI to GitHub Actions, because you would need that
Got it.
to rerun a job.
Even to run it the first time.
Sorry?
Even to run it the first time.
Oh,
New-
even to run it the first time? Or
New contributors. Yeah, new contributors get blocked.
okay.
And then they become,
Wasn't aware of that.
then they become no longer contributors because they can't get anything moving forward at all.
Yeah, well, I know that you need to approve and run. All right, let me just see if actually I'll try the approve and run through GitHub and see if that actually works, and maybe I'm just getting a weird error in Circle. And if that's the case, then anyway, I'll follow up. I said I was going to look into it 2 weeks ago, and it took me almost 2 weeks to look into it, so sorry about the delay. But I've started today and I'm on it.
It's cool. Yeah, it was like pre-Christmas, so we all got busy.
Yeah. Awesome, Joe. Okay, so it looks like did anyone else have anything else around that? Okay. Looks like the next topic is from Lucas.
Yeah, so I'm interested in working on that linked issue I put in there. Looks like it has to do with the Helm dependencies lock file, just not clearing on when someone removes the dependencies. So was able to reproduce it locally, and seems like something I can tackle. The fix in the code's not immediately obvious to me, but I think it's something I could handle. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I haven't even heard of this. Okay, so Joe, I see you commented on this a few times already.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had more to say on it right now, but that's kind of it for that for now. Yeah, glad to. I mean, if anyone's interested in pairing on it too, glad to do that as well.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I see that Joe just assigned it to you. So, yay.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that's excellent. We'll do our best to review it. I guess the only thing that we might ask in the meantime is like, just please try to ping us, because that's still a big bottleneck for us, is the review process.
Yeah, okay, for sure. And just a quick question on, I have read through this contributing guide a few times, but just for my own sanity and sanity check. So is forking Helm, the Helm project, is that like the preferred way to make a PR? Okay, sure, thanks.
And you know, one other tiny plug for you. So you want to contribute, and that's really awesome. And I was just saying that there's kind of a bottleneck on PR reviews. You know, you can't review your own PR, but you could review others. So if you are, there's no quid pro quo here. It's not like if you review one, you get yours reviewed. It will be reviewed as fast as people can, you know. But if you're able to help that out too, that would really go a long way within the Helm community and help other contributions that are kind of waiting in the wings, and we really appreciate it. So no pressure, but if you're able to and are interested, let us know. There's even triage maintainer roles for people who decide they like that and are able to dedicate some time to that regularly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll definitely look into doing the PR reviews. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see any other discussion items. So does anyone have any that they just didn't have access to the document, that they didn't write it down?
Can I add something? I added a section to the agenda now, that's just social media amplification, just because I haven't been very on top of this, but like, you know, for example, with the Helm 3.11.1 release, I'll go ahead and make a social media post on Twitter for that through our Helm account. But like, if any of you write blog posts, you know, that are related to Helm, that are neutral, things like that, or even if it's not neutral, for things that aren't neutral, like if you tweet about it and you want me to amplify it from the Twitter account, I'm happy to do that. And then for things that are neutral, I will most likely then like tweet it from the Helm account itself, just because usually I kind of try to like, I don't want to like endorse something that isn't neutral through the Helm account. And so I usually kind of navigate that by retweeting it, because then it didn't like organically come from the Helm account. But yeah, going forward, I would love for any of you all to remind me of whatever I should share. So there will be a new category that I've added to the agenda. So feel free to just drop anything there. If there's any context you want me to know, like any accounts you want me to tag or just links, throw it in there. Cool. I guess I will add the Helm 3.11.1 release to that section. But yeah, thanks.
That's such a good idea. Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad it was in the template too, so we won't forget for next time. Okay, it looks like there was another agenda item just added by Terry, asking where, you're asking for an update on the OCI transport refinement.
Yeah, I just wondered if that was going anywhere. Or...
It is. There's just been a little bit of a pause on it. That's actually something that that Andy Block, Sule, myself, and Max Werner have been working on in different capacities. And this PR, I think, is kind of pulling a few things together. So let me just poke Sule again and see. I think that you know, like if perhaps like there was a little bit of a delay. I know that there was a little bit of a shakeup at the company that I used to work at, that he, I believe, still currently works at. So that may have delayed a little. But there was one question by someone, Damien Keska, about from Andy. I don't think that that's a blocker. That's more like, I think, just a feedback question. But Terry, were you able to test this in any way, or actually, let me put it a different way. Would you be interested in helping to reproduce this? Test it locally?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of running our own build using this.
Oh, great.
So
you're essentially testing it. You're using it. Okay. Would you mind adding your feedback from that to this issue, so that's transparent not just for people that are in the meeting, but also through GitHub, because that goes a long way too.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try and formalize that, I guess.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting because full OCI integration was added, but there are still a few gaps here and there, and yeah. I guess as you know, because otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. Very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, and if you could just give like a short description of your use case and what you're doing in the meantime to do this, and any feedback that you have would really help. You know, because like we can test it and do these ourselves, but it's better when there's a little bit more feedback from the community.
Okay, sure thing. Thanks.
Cool. I feel like I'm talking a lot in this. I mean, I am hosting it, but it just so happens that I'm answering a couple of things, which doesn't have to be the case for the host.
I think you're the only core maintainer here.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Well, then in that case, are there any other discussion topics that folks had? I'm just trying to look. Oh, I see. Joe, you added a comment about the bug fix PRs.
Yeah, as far, I mean, you mentioned reviewing PRs is helpful, so I added a couple links for
Oh, for Lucas, and yeah, thank you. That's great.
or for anybody for that matter.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, in that case, can you save the chat? Okay, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so anyone that wants to just copy that or save the chat so it doesn't go away when we end.
It's also in the notes.
Oh, thank you. Wow, look at you. All right, this is a well-oiled machine, and it looks like we have run out of discussion topics. So we are now on to the shout outs section. This is great. When did this get added? Is this last week or just this week too?
Oh, I think a while back, I think you did the shout out maybe. like it inspired me to add this section.
Wait, did I?
Yeah, this was like sometime last year.
Oh my gosh, okay. Wow, I must be having a all right, well, shout out to me for suggesting. No, just kidding. Okay, yeah, I'm actually just trying, maybe what it is I'm trying to be better about going all the way to the end, because I've noticed the last few times I've moderated, I haven't actually gotten to the assignment section, which was not so great. So, all right, well then we'll just skip that for now. I mean, damn, I have good, you know what, I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to Joe right now for like, or actually both Joes, in fact, Joe Julian and Joe Thompson, for just like hitting those PRs and really focusing on those, because it's critical and it's very, very valuable. I hope you get enough kudos for that, and I hope that you give feedback when there's things that other people can do to help unblock or help you out more.
Just reviews.
Yeah.
Just core reviews.
Cool. And also, damn, all right. I'm just like on a trip right now. So like basically like I want to give a shout out to Karen for like carrying a lot of the community social stuff and other things, and also helping with, you know, bridging the Kubernetes community, helping out with the New York City Kubernetes meetup. I know there's been like a month pause or something between the last one, but in any case, going strong and very excited. I'm just glad to have you in New York. And I'm giving a shout out to Karina too, because I really appreciate you on the team, and I really like how you find, you know, you're really keeping an eye on things that we might be otherwise missing. That's really helpful. Okay, so who wants to moderate next meeting?
I don't think I'll be here at all next week because I'll be at a conference. So yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna check. I may also not. So we could skip that section for the moment. It would be nice if we had it, but the next one's going to be on the 16th. Yeah, it looks like I actually can't, because I'm oh yeah, I'm doing this thing with Whitney, her enlightening series, so that'll be fun. So actually everyone skip it and come join me. No, just kidding. Okay, so we'll skip that one for now. We need this. Does anyone want to take notes for next week? Help out with notes? Or does anyone know if they can make it even next week, that they could volunteer for any of these things?
I won't be able to make next week. I have a company event all day next week.
Cool. What about issue triage?
I'll keep it up.
Yeah.
Yo, Jay. Wait, George, did you also raise your hand for that too?
Yeah, I've been doing it out there. So
Woo!
Do you yet have triage maintainer permissions?
I don't.
Okay, we just need to work on fixing that.
Yeah, I think the only thing it already given me is the ability to add labels, which was probably helpful, but but yeah, if you think that would be useful, then I can do that.
That'd be great. And yeah, in the meantime, I guess just joking me if I can help with that. And in the meantime, George, you could work with Joe J on that. And then PR review. It sounds like Lucas might be able to, I don't know, didn't want you to feel there, but if you're interested, I could put you down for this, or you could just take it as you come.
Yes, you can put me down for that, and hopefully I live up to expectation, because yeah, I just pull down, try to break things, and leave comments. So.
I was also going to try and review some PRs. I meant to do that last week, but I failed. But this week, hopefully.
Cool. So you want to do some PR reviews too, George?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay.
Scott, you mentioned paying a maintainer for reviews. I mean that I don't want to just ping random maintainers. I can't just ping Matt Farina for everything that I want to get moved in. What would you suggest for doing that? How would you get?
Yeah, so right. So what used to happen, and I'm really not sure why it's not, is that reviewers get assigned manually, or excuse me, reviewers get assigned automatically at random. So we may have turned that off because some of the people on the review list weren't doing reviews. Perhaps that was me at some point, I don't know. In any case, I'm not sure why it's not doing that, but in the meantime, you can ping me if you want, and I can be clear on, I'll be just straightforward about like when I have time to do it. Sometimes I think I have time and then I have not, like the post install hook PR. But I did just do that today, so maybe late, but pinging me won't hurt. And if there is someone who it's their area of expertise, then I think it would make sense to ask in the Helm channel. You know, just say, hey, do you happen to have time to look at this? Because I know that you're, kind of an expert in this area. But I think that's kind of the best we've got at this point. We don't really have, a group or whatever on Slack for all the triage maintainers or all the maintainers. It might be nice to set up something like that, or set up some kind of workflow.
I have previously brought them, like listed them in the doc and then brought them to this meeting. It does take time from the development meeting, of course, so it's maybe not ideal for them, but if there's a few small things which can get pushed through, then sometimes it works.
That's a good point. Yeah, we should I'm down with that personally. Okay, but I know that we are now 1 minute over, so I've slightly failed at my job, but otherwise I think it's been okay. And thanks everybody for showing up. Love you all, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.